Saudi Arabia is one of the great trading nations of the world. As well as its cultural and artistic traditions, its people have developed a strong instinct for business and the ability to create and sustain relationships with the peoples of many other countries. We describe men with energy and dynamism and the ability to see and seize opportunities as entrepreneurs. It was these qualities which distinguished two brothers, Saleh and Abdulaziz Abahsain. Together, they formed the Abahsain company. Abahsain, building the future. 70 years ago, the fortunes of Saudi Arabia were transformed by the discovery of oil. Almost overnight, the kingdom became pivotal in the shaping of the modern world. Saleh and Abdulaziz were aware of that. The new Arabian-American oil company Aramco would need a vast infrastructure to support it. They moved swiftly and in 1947 established an electrical contracting business. In the years that followed, they moved into all the important manufacturing and service sectors supporting the oil industry. Since the very early days, the story of Abahsain has been a story of continuous expansion. Now, almost 60 years later, they have corporate offices, manufacturing locations, sales outlets, warehousing, and service centers all over Saudi Arabia. Beyond the kingdom, Abahsain has offices in Jebel Ali Free Zone, Tehran, and Toronto in Canada. In 1961, the Abahsain Commercial Division was formed. It soon became and remains the driving force behind the company. Its trading arm is responsible for identifying and developing strategic partnerships through which it supplies Aramco and major institutional consumers with everything, from valves and tubulars to aviation equipment. The scale of the operation makes Abahsain one of the top vendors of the oil industry in the kingdom. Complementing the trading arm is a sophisticated warehousing operation. Computer-aided, it supplies Saudi Aramco and the petrochemical industries with the spare parts they need for key equipment. But for Abahsain, this is not enough. The supply of spare parts comes with full service support, including repair workshops for BJ submersible motors and rotating equipment. Since 1978, Abahsain, through its heavy equipment division, has been a major distributor of heavy vehicles used by industry and in major civil engineering projects. Excavators, industrial forklifts, bulldozers, mobile cranes and rough terrain vehicles are sold, serviced, and supplied with spare parts across the kingdom. Abahsain can claim to have been changing the landscape of Saudi Arabia for almost 30 years.
Core philosophies have always been that we are market-driven. That is a core philosophy. Need-based growth. Every part of the Abahsain company is based on what was needed at whatever time in the past. Today we're doing exactly the same thing. We're reacting to need. Today's need is import substitution. Today's need is technology transfer. Today's need is to develop indigenous manpower. We're doing all of those things.
In 1980, Abahsain broke new ground by establishing its foodstuff division. Serving all the main population centers of the kingdom, its partnerships with overseas producers bring an international dimension to the table. Catering for the diverse ethnic and cultural groups within the modern Saudi Arabia, Abahsain's network of air-conditioned warehouses and its fleet of air-conditioned trucks ensure that the food always arrives on time and fresh. A year later, Abahsain, in its drive to expand, moved into a higher gear. The chemical division of the group was formed to supply critical process chemicals to Saudi Aramco and Saudi Basic Industries SABIC. and meeting the massive soda ash needs of Saudi Arabia through its distribution and warehousing facilities.
So we, as a matter of fact, are having a 95% share for supplying soda ash into the glass industry, into the detergent industry, and into the water treatment. And that's how Riyadh Waterworks come into the picture. And Riyadh Waterworks issues a very huge tender every 3 years. And I would say, alhamdulillah, for the last 12 years, we have been the major supplier.
However, it is beyond the kingdom that the scale of its ambitions becomes evident. The international companies the chemical division represents reads like a roll call of the world's leading manufacturers of industrial and process chemicals.
We are just concentrating mostly on the petrochemical and petrochemical based industries or downstream industries, which is directly or indirectly related either to the oil or gas or petrochemical based. In my opinion, I think all those projects are going to be extremely feasible, which are based on energy and which are based on the raw materials being produced within the country by the petrochemical industry.
In the same year, 1981, Abahsain took a huge step forward in the formation of Abahsain Cope as a joint venture company with the American company Tyco. Its factory at Dhahran is the regional manufacturing center and supplies cable ladders, unistrut metal framing, and perforated cable trays to a huge range of customers throughout the Middle East and as far afield as the Philippines. There are some aspects of life which become so familiar that we take them for granted. The pylons striding across our landscape, carrying power to homes and industry, are an example. They are fabricated along with light poles by division of Abahsain, the Omega Pole Factory. Street and expressway lighting, flood lighting for sports venues, and even garden lights start their life in the new industrial area at Riyadh, where hot dip galvanizing to international specifications is also part of the process. Since 1986, in association with the Lincoln Electric Company, Abahsain has been offering total welding solutions. And only 2 years later, Abahsain, never content to stand still, moved into the automotive sector. 3,000 square meters of floor space are devoted to showcasing vehicles and products from market leaders in America, Europe, India and China. Examples are Mack trucks, strong, reliable and competitively priced, and Marangoni high-performance tires, both typical of the wide range of quality products offered. Just as important as the flow of products across the kingdom is the flow of data. Industrial Supplies Development ISD, a special product-focused subsidiary of Abahsain. It particularly supports the special needs of the oil and gas industry. In 1998, the largest galvanizing plant in Saudi Arabia opened for business. From the outset, National Galvanizing has worked on major contracts for petrochemical and power plant fabricators. Expanded capacity is in the pipeline, as well as further growth into the field of coated products. It would not have been part of the Abahsain philosophy to ignore a major market sector. And in 2003, the lubricant division was formed. It represents the Emirates National Oil Company (ENOC) and delivers a wide spectrum of products, from industrial lubricants to aviation fuel. Recently, the Abahsain Group acquired the Saudi Arabian glass company SACCO, serving the soft drinks, food, dairy and perfumery industries, as well as producing tableware. With an output of 650 tons a day, Sacco is the largest glass container producer in the region and is exporting to Europe, Africa and Asia. All through its history, Abahsain has been aware of its responsibility to create a technological base in the kingdom using indigenous manpower. This is a Saudi company that is eventually going to be run by competent Saudis at all levels. Thus, Abahsain invests as much time and as many resources to this aspect as it does to meet its business objectives.
We have training program for Saudi. We train Saudi. There is no doubt in my mind that Abahsain will hire Saudi and run by Saudi management.
The training covers trade skills as well as those needed by the senior managers of the future. Abahsain is a dynamic and flexible company with a proud tradition of loyalty to its partners. It has worked with international powerhouses like Flowserve, Taiko, Mitsubishi and Nippon Steel for decades, a testament to the sound business philosophy of the company. With headquarters, industrial facilities and branch offices throughout the kingdom, it has the vision, expertise and financial strength to build equally stable partnerships in the years ahead. New industrial ventures are being initiated all the time. A valve plant begins operation soon, and a heat exchanger and steel fabrication facility using the most modern technology of Chart of the USA opens later this year. A resin plant and a fiberglass facility in Bahrain are the next stage in the dynamic growth of the group, which also has several other projects at various stages of implementation. Abahsain has invested heavily as venture capital partners in downstream petrochemical and basic industries. In addition, extensive real estate holdings in and out of Saudi Arabia enable them to have total control of their business environment.
Abahsain company is a very strong, very mature business house. I think it has a very conservative, very ingrained good philosophy, and I think that at the end of the day, this is one of those companies that's going to stay, that's going to grow, and that's going to be one of the futures, part of the future of Saudi Arabia.
As Abahsain is market driven, we always in the market when the market needs. Second, we have very experienced management team. The third, government provide us excellent finance.
Financial stability, good management and an emphasis on quality of service has made Abahsain one of the most successful companies in Saudi Arabia, and for existing and potential international partners, a proven gateway into Saudi Arabia and a powerful engine of growth. Expansion has been the keynote of the past. Industrial expansion, especially into manufacturing, is the keynote of its future strategy.